Okay, back here at the tool and cutter grinder, gonna basically recreate most of the end on this end mill here. I cut it off, did that in an earlier video, and now I'm gonna put an end on it like this end here that I was grinding. I got a little screen on the front of this GoPro, but it's not always that accurate. Okay, so I'm going to set this up in the All Tool, Rotadex, and I want to point out just some simple tools, like traditional tools I like to use around the cutter grinder. And one of them is just an old time, I think that's a 455 steer at height gauge. Brown and Sharp made them too, and they got kind of a square end here instead of it sloping down. And the old universal surface gauge. I find that very handy for setting wheel height. And then of course this square, which I found in a box of junk, and it's really a nice one, made in England, Moore and Wright. I don't know, I guess it's a 4.5 inch or something like that. But it's just, I found this very handy on this machine, so it's always sitting there. Square things up. Okay, so we'll start setting this up. Maybe that's a good spot there, okay? And we can use that, maybe. We'll see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this Rotadex at 0 on the top here. And I use this magnifier here. This one's, oh, I hate it when that handle flops out of there. But the graduations are kind of small, and it, I'll tell you, it does help me to use this. Oh, come on. Right there. Like I say, it's small. And I have to use my auxiliary handle here. One thing nice about this fixture is it doesn't change when you tighten it. Okay? So I have it indexed there. And I'm going to put the cutter in the 5C collet. Now, I mentioned before, these 5C collets, let's see if I get that pointed a little better there. These 5C collets, because they have a pin, they tend not to turn when you're tightening them, okay? And to kind of help that, let me see if I can slip that in there. There we go. To kind of help that, since it tightens going this direction, when you're positioning this, now I'm just going to start snugging that 5C collet a little bit here. Okay. Choke up on it. I think, yeah, that's about good there. Okay, I'm going to set it on 0 here. This is just one way to set this. Okay, then I'm going to lock that tapered pin in there. Now there's two ways to do this, and I'm not sure if I can reach that with this square. It looks like I could just do it, and it's a good way to do it too. Okay, so now I'm going to set this at 180. Which would be 270 degrees. Okay. I'm going to bring the magnifying up right back around here. Let's set these aside. So I'm going to rotate this. You see the points here? I'm going to rotate it so the points are in line with the square blade. I think it's long enough here. Get it right up there. It looks like it just is. And there's not really a way to get an indicator on there. I hope that's not too tight. No, I'm moving it. Okay, now I got to take it back. Okay. Move it a little bit here so it's smooth. Okay, I got that point. Got to back it off just a little bit. Hold on, I gotta, there we go. Just loosen that slightly. Okay, I'm bringing the points in this right in line, and it looks good right there. So as not to damage this, you remove the taper pin and pull it out, and then rotate it until the side lock engages like that. Then you can take a handle and stick in here and tighten that collet. Okay, I'm going to check it one more time, make sure nothing moved, and I'm sure it didn't. It did. Let me see what I'm doing here. Oh, I did not get it back on 270. I get ahead of myself in my old age. There's 270. Push in the tapered pin here, and it's got a little lock, and that locks it tight, but it's too delicate to like torque down a 5C collet. Okay, that should be better. Now I'm going to bring the edge right to it. I tell you what, it does not look right. Okay, I'm going to play around with this a little bit more. It looks like something moved on me. I will be back and see where my error was, because I'm not sure what I did. Oh, I'm using a fine adjuster on that now, and that's this mechanism back here, and it looks to me like I'm pretty close. I don't know why it moved the last time. Okay, I gotta push up on it this way. It is a little bit hard to see this. A little bit of dust on it. Okay, now I push up. Almost got it. Now you should be able to discern 0.02 of an inch with your eye with a little practice. So I'm glad I practiced. Okay, that locks it. The collet is tight. Now I just rotate it 90 degrees here. Right there. Oh. Let me see if that's working like it should. looks like it is. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to grind that primary relief angle first, just to kind of get an idea of what things are going to look like. So I will set that right here, and it's 7 degrees. Old eyes are on it. I tell you, that is a tough one right here. Over the years, it's gotten slightly battered right here. And that's it right there. Make sure I don't have parallax error. And it almost looks like I do. Okay, that's it right there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start the machine up and let it warm up for about 10 minutes. We'll be back. I found it good to warm this old machine up a little bit. It's 80 years old and it doesn't do so good on a cold start. So I started up and let it run for about 10 minutes and I oil everything and move from the top here back and forth and get it kind of lubed up, you know. Just sitting overnight, it kind of sticks, kind of rings together a little bit. Okay, we'll start grinding on this and start forming that first clearance angle at 7 degrees. And I hope you're all doing well. You probably won't hear me. I'm going to turn on the vacuum. Okay, here we go. Get the light so it's good. That should be good. Ease it into the wheel. Whoa, too much. There we go. Just a little bit, huh? I could smell the carbide slightly. Okay, that's looking going to clear that. I'm going to keep going a little ways. Get the dial indicator set up. Okay, I can see how much I'm feeding in here. Feeding about 1,000 % That's not more time. Still not cleaned up yet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip it. So I'm going to back it off a little bit. And go into it again. Get back to where it was. Give it another fire try. And you keep going until that edge cleans out. Almost. And we go ahead and rotate it, get the other side cut up. You can do this stuff anywhere it makes you feel comfortable. All it matters is that if the cutter cuts, right? Almost clean enough. I'm going to feed it in about 1,000 at a time here. Oh, that's looking really good. You know, I think that's just almost cleaned up. I'm going to flip it to the other edge. Like that. Let's just roll that over. How are we looking? I think it's looking good. Okay, gonna set it up for the 15-degree angle. Oh, it's small, there it is. I like to ink things up. It just makes it easier to see. So I use a Magnum Sharpie. This is Washington State. You do have to have a permit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and load the video that I have now, because sometimes things can go haywire with the camera. Then I'll be right back to do this grinding. Hey, I wanted to point out something about Endmills real quick, and you might find this interesting. Now, this Endmill here, 2 flute, and I don't know if you can see. I'll try to rotate it. But the flute, the face is cut in about 1 degree or 1/2 degree. So it kind of slopes towards the middle. And you can tell these Endmills that are like that, when you cut a slot with them, the bottom is like got these sharp little spirals, okay? And I think the reason for that is, I can't remember absolutely everything, but I think an Endmill that's ground like that can be a little bit more aggressive. I think that's the reason they do that. You know, it allows it to maybe go a little harder without failing or chatter or something. But this two-flute Endmill is absolutely flat across the top. This one, the tip goes in like that. And there, you'll see a gap in the middle. I don't know. Let me rotate it. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. And on this one, I'm just grinding it flat, okay? So let's get over here. And I've got the old tool Rotadex there. Let me set these Endmills down and have a sip of coffee. I hope you are all doing well and having fun in your shops. And I want to thank everybody for the donations and the contributions that go a long way to making things happen here. And you keep that up and I'll tell you absolutely everything I know. And then maybe we can all learn a few things together. That's the way things should work anyway. So, okay, now I got to set this for that secondary clearance here, okay? So I'm going to knock it loose. And I'm going to try a magnifier here. What's that? Oh, that's my Magnum Sharpie. I'm glad it didn't go off. Okay. Oh, I think this is going to be considerably better. At 15 degrees. Okay. She didn't move. Okay. So we're at 15 degrees, and what I do next, oh, it's right there, hold on. I take the old-fashioned, can you see here, the old-fashioned universal surface gauge and get that right about in the middle there. You want the wheel pretty much centered so you can make that distinctive separation there. It doesn't have a slant to it, I think. It's the best way. Okay, so we're tight there. And then I go over here to the wheel head, loosen the column lock, and crank the wheel head up. Just about there. I'm just looking at the center of the hub there. Looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay. I got a column lock back here. Here's a wire for my vacuum cleaner hose. Okay, snug that down good. Okay, well, I better leave that in there. Okay. Back around we go. Everything's looking good. We'll get this out of the way. I'll put that over here. Now, this, believe it or not, the bristles on this vacuum cleaner upholstery attachment helps greatly reduce some turbulence on that opening, and it helps draw that carbide dust on in there. And I've seen bristle used on other devices used to direct airflow. They use it on the doors of freezers, big freezers. You can drive forklifts in and out. So they use fans up above blowing down, and they have these long bristles on the manifold, or the plenum, I guess you would call it, and it causes the, can you hear that compressor going? I'm going to have to soundproof that thing out there. So, okay, it's nice having air though, I'll tell you that. So we got the wheel at the right height. And we're going to grind this back. Let's get her over there and see how close we are. Okay, looking good. I'm going to fire up the vacuum. Get the wheel going. Not sure that's perspective, huh? Now, I'm operating the grinder from back here. Move around just a little bit there. Just ease that into the wheel. It's all locked up tight here. That's not bad. Almost think I'm into it. Doing very close. There it is. Okay, I'll set up the dial indicator. And you're looking good. Just heater the fuel. Just about 1,000. Give it another 1,000. It's starting to feel, maybe you can see it better from here. So keep going. Now that's very, very close. So I'm going to back it off. Rotator. Ease and collect. That just started to touch on right on top. It really helps to have this indicator. Let's have a look at the actual cutting edge. That is so very, very close. I'm going to just give it just about 1,000. Just a couple of times. I'm going to rotate it. And remaining rocket is left with this tapered pin. Okay. Starting to look like an Endmill. I like that ram trick. That looks good to me. Okay, now I gotta do a notch. Get that notch towards center here. And I'll see if I can reach it. I'll change the wheel to a notching wheel. Then it'll be done. Okay. Okay, I am back here and I'm going to gash this cutter. And there's a little web of material right there. Then I just got to cut that away, and then it'll allow this to be center cutting again. So the way it is, this will prevent it from sinking straight in. So we'll just trim that away. Okay, I'll get this set up and try to get the camera in a good spot. I think this is not too bad. Okay. Hey, on the last little step and then we're done. And I'm just taking my time doing this, and I'm glad you're tagging along. I hope you can kind of pick up some things. Now, there's many ways to do the same thing. And the cutter grinder is kind of an interesting thing in itself. It's not really something that machinists do. Most machinists don't have a cutter grinder. They might have a cutter sharpener or something like that. So it's kind of an interesting thing to do. And then there's people that get all grumpy over it and stuff like that. Maybe they're career cutter grinders. But as millwrights, we take these technologies and use them to fix things, to make the mill run right. All right, that's how it works. So we don't have to worry about titles and this is a machinist's job and that's a cutter grinder job. We're millwrights. We do it all because we have to. Okay. Now what we got left here, and it's really pretty hard to see on these small cutters. I've got a couple of big Endmills will grind and be able to see this, and I'll just keep doing this. And what I've got left here, after sawing this off, and I got the primary land there and the secondary clearance angle, and now all there is to do is remove this little web of material here. And I've got one sitting here, a cutter, and you can see the grind I have to make. It's right here. That little shiny spot right there. And what that does, it ties these two edges together. See? This edge cuts, it's going that way. So this edge cuts and this edge cuts, and we got a little block of material right in between those two in the transition. Let's look back. See the transition from this edge and this edge has this material in there. And that's going to keep it from center cutting. So we're going to remove that material. Let's see if I can get that shining right. Move the light, might help. Right there, I see it shining in the camera. That little grind right there. So I got this set up, and I'm going to roll that cutter across there just like that. Now I've got the proper wheel to do that. This is a gashing wheel. You see how shallow it is, and it's strong and robust for really hogging out the material better. But the problem you run into on these cutter grinders is sometimes the spindle is too far back, and your fixture will collide with the column. So I'm just using the regular cup wheel. But this is one of the reasons I have, and people in the past have adapted their tool post grinder to these, so you can extend a wheel further over the table. That's just one of the shortcomings of things, but it's easy to overcome. Now, I noticed here with the Harig air spindle, now I could do all this with the air spindle, but I just wanted to use this Rotadex so I can get used to it. This is a new fixture to me. But with this collar moved back, there's a whole lot of clearance with the Harig Air fixture here. And you see how the base is here and it swivels, so I can extend that, hang that over. And I can do that with the regular work head. But one of the problems is the final clearance, where really getting close to the wheel and everything, where I think this the air spindle here is going to be superior. Now, the air spindle I used at the school here all those years ago was a Weldon, and it worked quite well. And but it didn't take 5C collets. It took these solid bushings, and most of them worked okay, and some of them didn't work quite as well. So anyway, one thing I like about the 5C collet, if you've seen some of my earlier videos, is you can tweak things true in them. Okay, so I'm gonna start notching that back and get it so it's center cutting. Okay. Okay, what I'm doing now, I'm finishing this up, and I'm notching away that little web of metal there, and I'm just going back and forth here and bringing it back up to 0, if I get it up there, and just dropping it carefully and getting that notch. Then I index thing. That way. Put that in there. Then do the same to the other end. Just kind of carefully. Okay, we'll pull it out of there and let's test it out on the mill. Yeah, re-tipping the Endmill was quite a bit of fun. I think that the this air-bearing fixture is going to make Endmill work a little bit easier, you know, especially the smaller ones. But the this is a good solid fixture here. It works good. The only problem I encountered was getting close enough to use the proper notching wheel, or oh gosh, can't think of the term for that, but they get that final tip clearance, gashing wheel. Okay, so I got that Endmill mounted in the vertical head here. Put a little stuff on it. Let's see if it'll plunge into this aluminum here. Okay, at 1550 RPM. Whoa. Let's feed it to the side a little bit here. Right. Well, I think I'll kick around some more cutter grinding and get that air spindle working. Okay, I'll be back. I hope you enjoyed this video. Grinding on those end mills really gives you control, you know, and it's easy to do. A lot of people have cutter sharpeners more so than a universal cutter grinder, but it's much the same. You just got more options with a full-size cutter grinder. Okay, I'll be back and you have a good day. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for the donations.